Hey, that doesn't look like your truck.
It's a beefy thing.
Look at this thing. Woo! What are we doing? Where are we? We are not at home right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can tell, we are not home. We are not in my garage. We are not in our shop. We are not in our environment. We are actually in Michael's stomping grounds, aren't we?
The cold Ohio.
We are in Ohio, and we have traveled to see one of Michael's good buddy Dan, because we are going to be doing some work to Dan's truck. And what better way to show you guys a much different avenue of what we normally do on the channel. You know, we tend to like Dodges, we tend to like going fast, building a lot of horsepower, but today we're doing something really cool, really interesting that I think a lot of you guys will relate with. This is Dan's, what is this beast we got in front of us here?
2019 F350.
F350. It's at least the right color. So we're here in Ohio. Like I said, we're going to be doing some work. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to introduce you guys to Dan. I am going to try to keep my mouth closed and kind of let Dan describe some of the things that he loves about his truck, but we're here to fix some things that he doesn't really like. And again, you guys hear a lot of this come out of my mouth. Dan actually came down to Kentucky to visit us a couple weekends ago, and he was kind of picking our brains. You know, I mean, you know how it goes. Like when you're into trucks, how many people call us on a regular basis like, hey, what would you do? Would you do this? Would you do that? So we kind of went down that avenue with Dan. And I was like, you know what? I think I have the perfect combination for what you specifically want. And it's not something we do all the time, so that's what we're interested to show you guys. But Dan's gonna hop in the driver's seat and we're gonna go for a quick little drive before I show you guys all of the cool parts that we're doing. So that's what we're here. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I was just thinking tinted windows, tonneau cover. Second favorite truck on the channel.
Man, all these trucks with tonneau covers really just getting me jealous. But anyway, let's hop in the truck with Dan. All right, never mind. Our drive is delayed slightly. Michael got
This was delivered by Amber.
Bob Evans on the go. All right, so we're gonna do our drive after Michael gets done eating his. What do you got there? You got enough to share with everybody on the internet here?
Oh, this is a rise and shine. You know, I prefer patties.
Dan.
Sir.
Say what's up.
What's up, man?
Dan, meet the internet. Internet, meet the Dan.
Hi, internet.
So, Dan, before, you know, we were going to go for a drive. We're still going to go for a drive, but Michael's over here just eating his rise and shine. But I was telling everybody a little bit about your truck. Do you want to get into a little bit of your truck, what you love, what you hate, what you do with it, that sort of thing?
I feel like all new trucks are really kind of equal, and they focus on a lot of really good things, but some things are annoying on them. We got into this truck because we had twins 2 years ago that made 4 kids total. So I had the same truck, only a 7.3 and 03, but it was a Lariat and it had a center console. So I decided to buy a new truck that would seat 6. So the family is 6. The only problem I have with the truck is some of the tuning stuff with it. Like it has like kind of a dead pedal or delayed. It almost feels like it's laggy, and these trucks are not supposed to be laggy, but I swear at some point in time my 7.3 had better throttle response.
One thing I did forget to mention is the truck is completely bone stock, correct?
Bone stock.
Haven't done a thing.
Bone stock.
How many miles are on the truck now?
14,000.
14,000. And you use the truck to tow your camper a lot, right?
That's primarily its job, is a tow. We have the whole family in it. 90% of the time it goes down the road, and it has a 14,000 pound empty fifth wheel, a 44-foot fifth wheel.
So the dead pedal you're describing, is that with the trailer or just all the time, or?
It's all the time. Mainly it just feels that throttle response is low, and like you can almost floor the pedal fast to the floor before any throttle response at all.
Gotcha. So that's one of the big things. One of the other things that you described to us was, you know, obviously with the truck being so new, you have a warranty, correct?
Correct. And like that is like one of the things I want to do is I want to keep my warranty, because that's just the luck I have. Like I need to keep the warranty, and that's what my whole objective was, to keep a warranty with it.
And you're traveling all over the place. You never know where you might be, that sort of thing.
With the warranties and like the roadside assistance and stuff, like that's the primary reason. Like I wanted to keep something as stock as possible to have the dependability or the reliability of the dealership support if they offer it, or Ford. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where we're at.
Sweet. Well, I mean,
Excuse me, I was chewing.
Sunshine, are you almost ready so we can go for a drive?
Almost.
But it was
This was the gym before the gym.
yeah.
Look at that thing. It's just a beaut.
She's super clean.
Looks like you need a new phone cover there, buddy.
Yeah, you'll have that.
You'll have that on the big jobs.
Yeah, it happens.
Or you are one of those people now. I'm actually outnumbered. And now you're gonna let mice in Dan's barn. Goodness.
Dan, is there a certain time that you like your pedal feels worse than others, or is it just all the time, or sometimes?
It's kind of one of those things that like I drive the truck enough where you kind of get used to it, but like when you get to the point you're like it's noticeable, I feel like it's kind of extreme, like to the point where like, oh, I noticed that and I'm used to the truck. But like right now, even driving, we're at 45 miles an hour, we're in 6th gear, that's floored.
Oh,
That's
wow.
on and off the pedal, and we're gaining 200 RPM. And so, I mean, at that point in time, it's like you sometimes it downshifts when you don't want it to, because you're waiting for it to actually do something that you over throttle, if that makes sense. So then it forces a downshift. But like right here, I can floor it, lazy, and then it comes on. So like,
Okay.
I can kind of make it do it anytime, but it's more noticeable when like a passing lane, like usually if it's in 6th gear of any time, before it downshifts, obviously it's probably going to be a little bit lazier without downshifting, but even with it being lazier, it's less responsive. So does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, I think the 6th gear thing on the highway, definitely that's where I notice some of my truck too as well. You notice it, especially when you're loaded in 6th gear, when you're trying to just slowly pass by someone. You don't necessarily want it to downshift, you just want to get it a little bit more steam.
Just a little bit more without, it doesn't need to freak out, it doesn't need to, downshift, it just, you overcompensate all the time by how far you put the pedal, because the delay sometimes is you're just waiting. So, the delay makes it seem
waiting.
It's buffering.
All right, guys, so you heard Dan. What we are after and what we are looking to do to his truck is to safely and reliably add some power, add some usable torque to his truck for when he's towing, and fix that crappy pedal. So what we are going to be installing to kind of solve all of his problems, do it safely, do it reliably, 50 state legal, going to have no issues with any type of dealership warranty, all of this stuff that we are going to show you is not going to leave a single trace in your computer. So there's no footprint, there's no anything you need to worry about. It is really a hassle-free, easy way of adding power. So what we've got is the complete full line from the guys at Banks. So we are going to be using their Derringer tuner coupled with the Data Monster iDash, and also coupling that with their Pedal Monster. So 3 different systems that can all be tied into one seamless upgrade, which is really, really cool. I'm actually really excited to install this on his truck, surprise him. I'm sure he is going to be blown away. It's actually our first time installing the Derringer tuner. They actually have these for Duramaxes as well, but also fits a host of the newer 6.7 liter Powerstroke. So what's really cool about all 3 of these things is they are all going to tie in together and then all be controlled and coupled right with the Banks iDash right here. So we'll be able to see the Pedal Monster and the Derringer all tune in real time. Let's quickly go over some details with all of the stuff that we've got here. So starting off with the Derringer. So this is the actual tuning part of this entire package. The Banks Derringer is an inline tuner. Again, does not leave a trace, can be easily removed. And this is going to be set up to work for the 11 to 19 6.7 Powerstroke guys. So what this is going to do is going to add and this is to the wheel. This isn't flywheel rated. This isn't anything. The power and torque that Banks give you is to the tire, which is the most important. So 60 horsepower gain and about 100 foot-pounds of torque. Now, cool thing, 6 levels of adjustability. Again, all controlled through your iDash, your Data Monster. The really, really cool thing and the most important out of this entire setup, especially for the Derringer and especially for the Pedal Monster, as you can see right here, this plug. This is the most important part of the whole entire system. It's connected to your OBD port. So what that means in a very simple way is the Derringer tuner, the Pedal Monster, they know what your truck is doing. Unlike other guys on the market that are doing these inline tuners for emissions equipped trucks, they have no idea what the truck is truly doing. So with Banks being connected to the OBD port, they know exactly what the engine's doing. They know what the transmission's doing. They are monitoring all of this different stuff, coolant temperature, everything that the truck is using to run and monitor. Banks is also tapped into and using to enable the tuning part of that to be done safely and reliably. That way, if there is an issue, it just defaults right back to your stock setting. So the one thing that I feel, and especially for someone like Dan's scenario and guys that are using their trucks on a daily basis, the last thing you want to be is hooked up to a trailer or a camper or even just driving down the road. You do not want your truck to go into limp mode. You want your truck to be safe. You want it to be reliable. You don't want to be cruising down the road and have a check engine light come on. So the awesome thing about the Banks stuff is that it just defaults right back to stock. So if there is a issue with the truck, issue with any of the modules, it is going to go right back to stock for you and not leave you on the side of the road in limp mode or reduced power mode. So the fact that they are tapped in to your OBD, monitoring all of the critical stuff, makes this super safe, super reliable, and is really in tune with the truck, with adding fuel, with adding air. It knows everything to do. That way it can back it down, add more, and you can see that all real time right in this iDash right here. Same goes for the Pedal Monster. It is connected to the OBD. So the OBD gives it access to all of the parameters. It is simply not just pulling power from the pedal circuit. It is doing that through the OBD port, and it is doing it safely, reliably. If there is a issue, it goes right back to your factory pedal. You have no issues, no worries if something is going to happen or not, because it just goes right back to stock. So like I mentioned, the Derringer tuner, 6 levels of adjustability on the fly. Same with the Pedal Monster. You guys know you have tons of adjustment in the Pedal Monster to suit the pedal exactly how you like it. Again, all of the safe features that we've gone over before on the Pedal Monster goes back to stock in reverse. Just tons of really, really cool features. The low speed trim, you can set exactly how sensitive it is. And again, if something happens, it goes right back to stock. The really, really cool thing that I am super pumped about is this gauge right here shows everything in real time. You can adjust everything here, and this will actually show you stuff that your factory dash cluster does not show. Now, if you guys are emissions equipped, emissions compliant, you know, your regen is kind of important to you to be able to kind of see where you're at, when the next regen is coming, all of that DPF soot stuff. This Banks will actually show you when that's going to happen. You can set a manual one, which is really, really cool, because I asked Dan that and he was like, man, I never know when it's going to do it. Well, now with that Banks iDash, he can see when it's about to do it. He can force it to do it when he wants to do it, which is really, really cool. So you're going to see a lot of stuff on the iDash when we get it installed that the factory cluster is not going to show you. And again, being able to control everything, a lot of people sometimes don't like doing it with their phone, but with the iDash, you'll be able to do all of that and control all of that right here with the gauge. So without further ado, I think that we are going to jump right in. What do you say, Michael? Ready to pop this baby in here? All right, so we're gonna jump into the install. It is honestly fairly easy. It looks like a lot of cords, but they all integrate very, very nicely together, and gonna end up right here at the gauge. So I think we're ready. We're gonna pop this in, and hopefully Dan is happily surprised with how the pedal and the added power that we're about to give. Dan, we just got done with our first test drive.
How'd it do?
This thing's an animal. You're not gonna be able to handle it.
Cool. You gonna pull a truck out with it?
down the road.
All right, guys, so we just finished up the installation. Didn't really film a lot of that. A very, very, very easy installation. So the weather is getting a little windy. I can't really talk outside, but very simple connections under the hood. You're really just tapping into 2 sensors to control the fuel and the air. So really just a piggyback harness that runs inside the cab, and then everything else just kind of tucks right underneath there, runs up the side panel, and we went ahead and installed the Banks pillar and then the I-dash gauge all the way over there. And we got Daniel back in the truck here, and we've got the Pedal Monster app pulled up. But actually what's cool is for the Pedal Monster, you don't actually need this to control it, but you can. So you can actually move this, and it's actually connected over there. So as I'm doing that, it's hard to tell, but Dan, you can tell everyone that the gauge is moving over there.
Absolutely.
You can see the little bar screen move up and down. We're gonna leave this right in track mode and level 6 on the Derringer. Just you know, we go full tilt, all, you know, right off the bat. So first test drive without the trailer, and then we're gonna come back and maybe grab the trailer.
Let's touch it.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's like flexing my big toe.
Yeah, we've got it turned all the way up. I'm not sure if you're gonna want to keep it here, but you know, just for video's sake, we just in case we're going right to the track.
That's good. Yeah, it's just literally like this far on the pedal. That's actually kind of comical. That's like that's quarter pedal.
What's that? Oh,
Traction
you're
control.
turning traction control off.
Absolutely.
So on the gauge over here, see where it's white and red?
Yeah.
That's the pedal. The white is what you're giving it, and the red is what is like
Okay,
the
so this
amplifier.
is like amplified Banks, and
Yep.
that is what my foot is doing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, okay, that's very accurate because I just bumped up and then I came back out.
Yep, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see what the Derringer is doing on the right-hand side. So there's 2 bar graphs, one on the left, one on the right. Left is the Pedal Monster, and the right is the Derringer power.
Okay.
So you can kind of see that. And then the 6 in the upper right-hand corner over there is we're on level 6 on the Derringer. And then there's 3 Pedal Monsters. There's Sport, Track, and then there's City, I believe. So you can actually go down to City as well if the pedal is too sensitive for you right now.
This right here feels better than Track. It seems like more usable.
It makes the power more linear.
So like this feels more usable power and stronger, and like this feels like a good factory setting. Like if they would have come out with this, I wouldn't have complained. So this feels like really smooth.
Can you tell the truck has 60 more horsepower from the butt dyno? Does it feel more powerful?
I definitely feel more. It's like the same strength, but all the time. Does that make sense? Like it feels like it's more usable through the RPM range. The true test will be this weekend when I go camping. So like the camper on it, but
yeah, doing mountains, doing hills.
yeah, absolutely. Like this truck gets worked, and like that's why we lean toward the Banks, just because of the family in it the whole time.
Yep.
Looking for like the reliability and the dependability. Like obviously I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere with my family, and you know nobody wants to be in that situation.
Yep. So
that's
like
where the warranty comes back in. Everybody wants to keep the, you know, I'm always worried about a warranty.
Yep. And like I mentioned to them while you weren't there, basically if anything gets confused, happens, everything just defaults to factory. There's no limp mode, there's no check engine lights, there's no on the side of the road wondering if your power's going to come back.
Absolutely. And like this truck, like we'll slow down, but just from that, where we pulled out of that intersection back there, like this will go back to first or second, but like this feels way smooth. Like this feels all usable power, and like I'm half throttle right now on the pedal, like, but that's what I want this truck to do, be smooth. Like it's,
and that felt pretty strong for half pedal.
yeah, like this doesn't, like performance wise, I'm thrilled with that side of it. Like
The Derringer is only showing that you're at half of the potential there.
that makes sense, because like that was half throttle, and you said the Derringer went to half.
the quick, like the cheat sheet.
Yep.
Hit the bottom right.
Bottom right.
Yep. And then see how that highlights the Derringer to red, and then hit it again, and then it does the pedal monster.
Okay.
So when those are highlighted, then you can use the left up and down arrows to adjust it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And that's just the cheat. That way you don't have to like hook your phone up, wait, you know, whatever. If you're trying to
I will use that more. So even if I'm using my phone for navigation or something else, like I don't have to disturb that.
See how it goes back to blue,
yes.
And then it's just and then it defaults back into the up and down arrows just to the pedal monster. So so see how it's both blue? You can hit the up and down arrows, and it will move the pedal monster.
I'm still a pedal monster there.
Yep, and then hit the bottom right button, and then you can go up and down there.
So this is 6, 5, 4. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yep, and that should be on the fly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's cool.
That's the quick cheat sheet.
Okay. So I can do that.
And then the gauges are all in the settings. You want to go through that just a little bit.
Right. Yep. And then there's your gauge layout, or down, sorry. And then see where it says on the next one down. That's what you were on.
Okay.
Derringer pedal monster. That way you can switch.
Okay, so this is basically going to be my display. That's okay. I get that.
Yep.
So
if I wanted just this dude, or if I just wanted the pedal monster, then I can go back and
you have to hit forward.
Okay.
So the top right. Yeah, go ahead and hit that again. Yep. And then hit the same button again.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, so this will be.
Yep.
So there's my pedal. That's what I'm actually doing, and that's what the Banks is doing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then the top left is like the one of three categories.
Okay. Yep. So I can go back there, gauge layout, and then I was on this one before.
Go to the Derringer one. What's the Derringer one look like? Okay. Just by itself. Okay. So that just gives you the power level, and then
it still gives you throttler with RPM on it.
Okay.
So,
this thing has so many different options. You'll be playing for a while.
Hello?
Hello?
Danielson.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. Did you tow your sexy trailer with that thing yet, or what?
That is what I was calling you about. You guys got a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
How was it?
It was actually really surprising. So I hooked up, and it took me a second to get used to it. Just with the camper, like it was playing the fifth wheel hitch, so it was kind of like harmonics a little bit until like I got used to the pedal. So I turned the pedal down just one, and it made it pretty much perfect there. But I did about a 5-mile loop with it on my way back to my house, like some hills, a little bit of in and out traffic, everything. And all I can say is it's day and night difference cleaner. Everything about it, like shift points feel better. The shift points do. Acceleration is extremely smooth. Throttle response is great. Like no more dead pedal. I'm actually a believer now. I'm not saying I wasn't before, but like I'm very, very impressed with it. It just feels like it cleaned up a lot of the stock tuning. Like I've never had any overly huge complaints of the tuning, but like it's a new truck. I'm not going to complain about it. It's great, but like I actually feel like there's a bunch of improvement. Throttle response is good, and just the acceleration from 0 to operating speed, whatever the speed limit is, just feels really effortless and flawless. Like very, very happy. So
alrighty guys, as you can tell, we have made it back home from our trip, and that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff that was mentioned in this video, the pedal monster, the Derringer tuner, or the iDash stuff, I will leave links below for that stuff. They got you covered pretty much all the way through your Duramax, your Powerstroke, and then the Ram stuff is all there as well, minus the Derringer tuner, which is coming down the road very, very soon. So if you guys really want the most solid, reliable, intact, emissions-equipped 50-state legal tuning, I honestly think Banks is the only way to go. You get a nice, usable horsepower increase, and then the pedal monster and the integration with the iDash is something that I really, really liked, especially for that need, that want. Very, very nice integration, and the iDash being able to see everything and stuff that your factory truck can't even see is really, really, really cool. So if you guys, again, if you're interested in that, go check it out down below. Huge thanks for Banks for always helping out on the channel and supporting us, and we love everything that they come out with. So make sure you guys go check them out, show them some love, go check out all of their new videos on their YouTube channel on the Banks Built series, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. See ya. Bye.